This week's recipe demo is...
Veggie Gumbo. Yummy.
Ooh, who's excited?
I am so big on okra right now. I never thought I would say those words. It's kind of a strange thing to be big on, but ever since making okra the other week, gumbo the other week, I was like, okay, I need more okra. I hope we get more in our box, and we did. So we decided to share this recipe with you guys.
So let's get started.
Alright, the first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to turn on your stove to medium-high and heat up your pot.
Which we have here.
We have that going here. And next thing, what you're going to do is kind of strange, but you're going to, well, I guess olive oil is not that strange, but you're going to take some olive oil. Can you do this? And pour about 2 tablespoons of olive oil into your pot.
1, 2.
Perfect. And then next thing you're going to do is you're going to take some flour. We are a gluten-free family, so we are doing brown rice flour, but you can use whatever flour you have on hand. You're going to pour that right into the pot. Perfect.
Okay.
And the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to constantly stir it until all the flour is combined with the oil. So this might take a few minutes, 1 to 2 minutes. And the point of this is so that when you put the vegetables in, the flour and oil starts to stick to the vegetables, giving it a little bit more flavor. We like flavor, right, Peter?
We like flavor. Okay, I think this looks good. It's kind of like a browned flour in there.
Yep, so that's perfect. Thanks, Peter. So next thing you're going to do is you're going to take the onion. We have half a white onion. You could use red or you could use yellow. Really, anything will do. And we're going to pour that in. And it starts to sizzle a little bit, which is good. The onion is going to add some moisture, and so the flour will really start to stick.
So far, so good.
So far, so good. And then next thing, you're going to add a bell pepper. We're using green, but you could use red or yellow. We actually got a purple bell pepper. I wouldn't recommend that one. Just saying.
Yeah, the purple is one stage before the green, and green's a little bit sharp in flavor, so
The purple is really sharp.
yeah. Because the stages are purple, then green, then red, then orange, then yellow. So when you get to yellow, that's the end of the line. So I'm upgrading to a big boy spoon here.
Perfect. And then, so we got the onion in there, we got the pepper in there. Next, we're gonna put the okra in there. And I just kind of wanted to show you guys. So this is like a whole okra, and you're just gonna cut off the tops and the end. Peter, oh, I don't think we have a knife. So you're just gonna cut off the tops and the end and slice it, and so it looks like this right here.
Oh, improvising. Beautiful.
So
but we're doing slices, right?
Yeah, so you could use scissors. Usually
This is like the Costco demos. You ever see that? They like cut up like chicken tenders and stuff.
I actually like using kitchen scissors to cut up things. They actually work really well. A friend of mine said she uses scissors to cut pizza. Not really sure how that works.
Yeah, not our pizza, that's for sure.
So then we have 2 cups of okra. And if you're not familiar with okra, because I wasn't really either, you can find it at the farmer's market. The season here in California is it starts like end of August and usually goes until November. If you can't find it fresh, you can get it in your frozen section, and it comes just in a bag. And that will work just as good, but I do favor the fresh.
Yeah, fresh is always better. Go with fresh.
If you can, understandable. So we got those in there.
Yep, this looks good.
Flour's coating that, and then we have some green beans. Also, you could use fresh, which we're using because we've been getting it in our CSA box. But you could use frozen or even canned. Just make sure you drain them first.
Load it up. Yep. Now, don't be shy if you don't have green beans, but you had maybe like zucchini. You could probably do like a swap there. Get a little bit creative.
Sometimes I put celery in this. Celery is a great option. but we've been using our celery for juice, so I'm skipping that.
And you can't swap out the okra because, after all, it is gumbo.
You need the okra. All right, so we got that going. We're
Yes.
gonna stir that
Keep
a few
stirring.
more times, and really let all those get coated.
Woo, woo, Sarah! Look at these things. Holy, huge.
Yeah, you can cut them whatever size you want. You can cut them big or small. It really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, this smells delish. Smell that onion.
Yeah, the onion was really strong. It was kind of making my eyes water.
I saw you over there, getting a little teary-eyed.
All right. So once you have that going, the next step is you're gonna want to get some garlic going. If you guys know me, you know that I love my garlic zoom. So I already got 2 cloves loaded. This one you can let the kids do. Just kind of roll it on the table.
She loves this thing.
I really do, right? Good.
Sometimes I'll catch her in the house and she'll just be like driving it around, just having a gay old time in
You
here.
know, it's like a little Lego man car.
Her little Lego car.
Very cool. So then you're gonna open it up and just dump out the things, the garlic, and you can take the blade out, which is kind of sharp, and I just use my finger and scrape it out.
Or you can do it, we really aren't. This is like the fanciest gadget that we have, other than probably our blender and juicer. But you can just mince it up.
Totally, yeah. It's just minced garlic, 2 cloves. And then stir that up.
Okay.
Yum. Love the smell of garlic. It smells so good. It's looking good. So you're gonna get the garlic all stirred up in there. And then the next step is the tomatoes.
Tomatoes. So we went with the extra large can today because it was a little bit cheaper. And after all, we are trying to save a couple bucks these days. Not sacrificing health, of course. #1 priority.
And we're just going to use half the can. So you only need 1 can, but like Peter was saying, it was on sale, so it actually made more sense to get the larger can. So you just want 1 14-ounce can. And we're using fire roasted tomatoes. You can use any type of diced tomatoes.
With the extra, you can either make another recipe, just put some plastic or foil or something over the top. Or if you know you're not going to be using it, you could just put it in a little Ziploc or other freezer container and just freeze it.
Yep. So
Which is smart if you don't have another upcoming recipe that you think you can use it for. Otherwise, it's going to go bad on you. Probably within 3 days. Okay. So this is 28 ounces, so we just go right half of this.
Yep, we're just going to put half of that in there.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
And then the next step is you're going to want 2 cups of fresh or frozen tomatoes. So we're going to use frozen because we have some in the freezer. We have some heirloom tomatoes we've been saving. But you could use another can of tomatoes or just fresh if you don't have any in the freezer.
Yeah, back in August we got a ton of heirlooms from our CSA box, and so we just decided to just chop up and freeze a bunch of them. So that's
So
what
you're
we
going to
got
want
here.
about this whole chunk. I
This
measured it
whole chunk?
last week, yeah.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so about that size of a chunk. Okay, we're gonna be putting in there.
Actually, a little bit more, Pete.
Plus a little bit more.
Perfect. That's actually absolutely perfect. So 2 cups, and you're just gonna stir that up. And I actually just realized that I forgot water. Bring some water over.
Okay.
So you're gonna want 4 cups of water or vegetable broth. So we're gonna add 4 cups of water.
Would you say that's a cup?
That's a little bit more than a cup.
I think these frozen tomatoes are going to take a little bit to melt down.
Once you get the water in there, it's not bad. 1. Alright. 2. 4. Perfect.
All right.
All right, so before we let it simmer and do its thing, we're gonna add some spices. So gumbo is pretty fun because you'll have some core spices, but then you can really add whatever you want and spice it up or not, depending on how you like it. So the core spices are gonna be paprika.
Paprika.
And we'll give you guys the exact measurements in the recipe. Perfect. And then even though we added garlic, fresh garlic, we're also going to use some granulated garlic to really add some more flavor.
We like our garlic.
Garlic is good. Keeps the witches away. Halloween is upon us. Oregano.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Get a little bit of Italian in there.
And then just a touch of liquid smoke. If you don't have liquid smoke, you're going to use smoked paprika. If you don't have smoked paprika, you're just going to use regular paprika.
We need to
do you want to do this?
Oh, I'm afraid of this stuff.
I'm going to do it. It's very powerful.
It's super powerful. You add like a quarter of a teaspoon.
Okay. So those are the main spices, but for extra credit, you're going to add, well, we're going to add, you don't have to. We're going to add bay leaves. So you're going to put the bay leaves in. You're going to do 2 of those. And then we're going to do cumin. You're going to do the cumin, Pete.
Add some spice to there.
Yep. And then we're going to do a little bit of salt because we didn't use any vegetable broth. If we used vegetable broth, we probably wouldn't use the salt. There's some salt in the canned tomatoes, but not that much. And then some black pepper.
Man, they're always slipping salt into everything, aren't they?
And then we're going to add a little hot sauce because we like it spicy. But you don't have to. Sometimes kids don't like spice. We're just going to add a little bit.
Just a little bit.
And then lastly, but not least, we're going to add some beans just to thicken it up because most gumbo has seafood. So we're going to add beans to ours. And we're using kidney beans.
Okay, yeah, this looks great. Okay, so now we're just going to simmer it.
Now we're going to simmer it. So we're going to put it on simmer and let it just do its thing.
Okay, let's put it on simmer.
Okay.
Oh, that's the lid. Is that the lid?
No, I'm just simmering it. And you're going to want to cover it with a lid and put it on
Put the lid
simmer.
on it, simmer it. We're going to hang out for
30
like
minutes.
2 hours.
Ready? Here we go.
Okay. Okay, so now that our gumbo is cooking, we have a couple minutes to work on some other stuff.
So for this recipe, we decided to spruce up the gumbo by adding a sauce. You definitely don't need a sauce. It is an extra step, but it tastes amazing. What did you say?
Yeah, and what else are we doing while the gumbo's cooking?
Right.
So this is our tahini miso sauce.
And it's
very basic.
Yeah, it's really easy. Pretty much it's 2 parts tahini to 1 part miso. So we like a lot of tahini, as you guys probably know. So we're going to do 2 heaping tablespoons of tahini. And then... Oh, I broke the lid to that.
Yeah, I'm looking at
night.
it. It's kind of shattered. And then we have yellow miso here.
And we've used the red, and the red actually is a little bit stronger.
Oh.
So you could use a little less. Don't worry about Peter, he does that.
Whoa. I love tahini.
And then 1 tablespoon of the miso. Miso is really strong. And then because these are both really thick, we're going to add a little bit of water to thin it out.
Thin it down, make it a little bit more saucy.
And then you're just going to put it in the food processor.
Make it creamy.
Give it a go. Alright.
Ooh, this is like extra creamy.
Yeah, so this is actually a little bit more watery than I like, so I think I added a little bit too much water.
Oh, bummer.
So I'll have to add a little bit more tahini. Because I like it pretty thick.
And I'm hungry. Okay, how are we looking?
So this is perfect. So you want a thick sauce like that.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's great. It floats right on top of the gumbo.
It's really good.
It's delicious.
All right, so you got that done.
Oh.
So now you're just gonna want to set that aside, and you're gonna serve the gumbo over some kind of grain. So a rice or a quinoa, a millet. So we have some quinoa, and so we're gonna get the gumbo and serve it up.
Okay, I'm gonna go get the gumbo. Okay.
All right, so we have the gumbo now, and so we're gonna serve it up. So how you serve it up is you do a scoop of the gumbo. Do you want to scoop?
Let's do a scoop of the gumbo here.
It smells so good. So excited. All right, maybe
Oh
one
yeah,
more
we're gonna need more than that. This is a little baby scoop here. Try not to get the bay leaf.
Yeah, you don't need the bay leaf. I'm sure you can.
I'm sure, yeah, it's edible, but we've never done it.
All right.
Oh, I don't know, maybe one more scoop.
One more scoop.
One more scoop. Maybe try a ladle with this thing. Oh yeah, that looks
Okay,
good.
so that's perfect.
Okay, for the photo, let's see.
So we got the gumbo. And then next step is you're gonna do a scoop of quinoa right on top.
Scoop this off to the side.
Alright, so you have a scoop of quinoa in the bowl right on top. And then next you're gonna add some of this awesome sauce right on top of the quinoa. That's where you want it.
Oh yeah, it's a good spot for it.
And
Keeps
then,
it dry. It's kind of like on dry land in the soup.
smells so good. So you can kind of see it. It's really pretty, really easy, and this is awesome.
Yeah, so
You should make this recipe. And here's why. It uses okra. Okra and gumbo are like a pair. They're a match made in heaven. We have another recipe on the blog for okra, but this one, it's better.
agreed. It's better. And another good reason is because it is fall, people. That means soup. And this recipe is so good, and it's so perfect because it's using a seasonal ingredient, okra.
Another reason, third, last, is you should make it because you can use fresh vegetables, you can use canned vegetables, or you can use frozen, or like we did, you can use a variety of all of the three. So I hope you make this week.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.